Taylor Starling, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. So thanks for coming on, and you're getting a lot of attention right now. It's been, what, 2 months since your last bloodbath?
Yeah, and it's been insane. Like, it's crazy to think how crazy things have gotten since.
Yeah, so, I mean, I didn't know much about you, but Quentin Henry, a friend of mine from this area, was actually on that card, and that was my first bare knuckle bout to ever watch, but I've been in the MMA game a long time, the boxing game for a while, and I saw that fight, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It was insane. It reminded me something like Forrest Griffin and Stephen Bonner. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that level of shit. I'm sure you heard that a bunch, but
Yep. It's
so
it's crazy because like I tell everybody that even like after the fight and it stopped, I was like, oh my God, I fought like shit. And then like everyone was like standing and like it was like a standing ovation, and I was like, I don't know what that was that great because I felt like shit. Like in there.
yeah, that was like, wasn't that like the first bout since COVID? One of the first couple since COVID hit where y'all actually had a crowd there.
Yeah.
I had a few friends in the room, and they were like, if you saw this fight in person, you wouldn't believe it. Like on TV, it was insane in itself, but seeing it in person, I mean, she was a hell of an opponent, and y'all fucking brought it out the whole time. Like, mad respect, because honestly, I don't think I've ever seen one that good, and I just haven't, and I've seen a lot, and I've been around a lot, and that, I mean, it was insane.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. It was crazy. She was so tough. Like I was hitting her with everything
Yes.
I had and dropping her, and she was coming right back up. And the one thing I say about bare knuckle is there's a lot of moms in bare knuckle, and I'm like, she's a mom, I'm a mom. I was like, I think we went and showed that like moms throw down.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, so tell me, how did you get into the fight game? Because I know you previously, before this, you were MMA, but how did you get into that, and was it anything with growing up, or have you been in it for a while, or what's the story there?
Yeah, I've been training for 12 years,
Okay.
and when I was younger, I moved to Albuquerque. That's what happened is I moved to Albuquerque, and I got picked on a lot, and my dad kind of raised me not to like give a shit or take shit and stuff like that. So whenever I'd get picked on, I was like, I wouldn't take it. I wasn't someone just like getting bullied. It would be like I'd get picked on, I'd be like, all right, like if that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
My dad always told me like if someone's even in your personal space, that's automatic means for an ass whooping. Like that was it. My dad was never like let somebody hit you first or go tell the teachers. He'd be like,
Yeah.
if someone invades your personal space, like that's on them. What happens next? Like,
Yeah.
so when I got picked on, I was just tough. And a wrestling coach was like, hey, come and try out for wrestling. And I was like, I really want to punch people. So I had a family friend get me into a taekwondo gym and like send me there. So that's what really got me into it.
And so what was your first fight, a boxing match or kickboxing, or what was it? Boxing?
It was boxing, yeah. And the funny thing is I started like really trying, like putting my toe in the water with like wrestling and jiu-jitsu, and I enjoyed it and I was aggressive, but I always was just like, oh, I want to hit somebody. I want to punch somebody. I want somebody to punch me. And that's where like my love just for boxing was always stronger than anything else.
I can agree with that on my side too, because I started boxing a little bit, and then that was kind of easing into the MMA game. They want you to get a couple boxing matches under your belt, then you can get an MMA fight. But my thing is always stand up. I get bored on the ground. You know what I mean?
There's just something about standing there and brawling with somebody that is just like, it's crazy. Everything that goes into it. So yeah, boxing is where my heart has always been, and bare knuckle is just me. That sums up my fighting style, is the only way to put it.
Well, I mean, not only that, but like, so how do you explain, people have been in bar fights, whatever it may be, but you're sitting there and trading punches without any, I mean, just that's it right
Yeah.
there, just bare knuckle. Like, oh, how do you explain that? Like, not only being hit with those, but also like continuously throwing those over and over again, because you don't have any hand wraps on, you have no gloves, there's no padding.
Yeah. And that's like that was harder for me. And I didn't even have like that kind of advice until like the day before the fight. I think it was Christine Ferreira came up to me and she was like, be ready, because it's not those punches in the face that hurt. It's those ones that you're hitting somebody with your bare knuckles and your hands are going to feel it. And I was like, oh shit, I never thought about that. And then like when I was in there, I was like, oh shit, my hands hurt. Like they hurt really bad. So it was different, and it's also like, I've been in street fights. I mean, I've been in every fight you can think of, and it's just not the same. Everything's different in every discipline. That's the only way to put it.
I've noticed the clinch game's also different too. You know, that's a whole nother ball game.
My opponent clinched me, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot that we can do this in bare knuckle. And like I had trained it, like I had trained drills, like practicing my clinch, but once I was in there, I was like solely just like boxing. Like I forgot, and she grabbed me, and I was like, oh no, like I forgot about that. Let me clinch up with her too. And then I was like, oh, okay, I remember now that we can clinch each other.
Well, where does so Killa Bee, where does that come from?
One of my teammates gave me that nickname, Sparring. She's a heavyweight. She's number 10, I think, in the United States. Her name is Lady Tapa. We were sparring, and you know, she's 200 pounds, and I was like 117, and we're sparring, and she was like, you're like a little bee that just like keeps stinging me. She's like, I could hit you with one shot hard as fuck, and you hit me like 150 more times, and you just keep coming at me no matter what, and it's like a bee. And so she kept calling me Killa Bee. So it's like,
hey, I mean, that's a good way to get one, you know. So just giving yourself one. A lot of people just give themselves a nickname.
I know. And I was like, I don't have a nickname. I never got one. And then finally it came.
Well, how's it been with all this new attention going on from your fight? Because I'm sure like there's no telling how many people have been reaching out and you know, giving you guys cred. I mean, that shit was crazy.
I'm gonna be like super transparent with you, because like it's so awesome. Like, let me give you like the good positive part, because it's so awesome. Like I'm overwhelmed in the best way with like having so much support and so many people, like from people I don't know to people who are well known in the whole entire world. Like just everything in between is awesome, and it's so crazy. But let me tell you, that's like a different kind of pressure when, like, you know, say for instance, people are wanting to interview me, and I'm like, well, I'm a mom and I work 3 jobs and I'm training and I'm trying, because I'm such a people pleaser. So for me to like hurt someone's feelings, like hurts me really deep down. So to know that like I'm trying to make sure I respond to everybody and be the same person that I am at all times, but not be able to like give everybody like the thank you, I appreciate it, just because I can't even like physically see it sometimes because there's so many people. But at the same time, I work really hard for this to get my name out there and be where I'm at. So I'm thankful and I'm blessed, but man, I feel awful and like shit when I can't respond to everybody.
Hey, you're only one person. So you said your mom and 3 jobs. Tell me about that. So how many kids do you have?
I have 2 boys.
Okay.
One's 3 and one's 5.
Nice.
Yeah, I have 2 boys and I have 3 jobs. I work at a bakery, a brewery, and a coffee shop. All of my favorite things I get to do for a job. So and training, fighting, 2 boys, it's wild.
So what's it like working? Are you getting bombarded at work too with all this stuff?
Sometimes, not really. Like everyone here, I live in a small town, so it's been really fun to like go places. Like everyone here knows each other, but a lot of people didn't really know who I was. And I'm going into like the local gas station, like, oh my God, I saw you on TV. I saw you on the internet. I saw Tyson Fury talk about you. And I'm like in my sweats with no makeup on, like, yeah, that's me. So it's really cool, but work is pretty much the same. All my people that know me like followed my journey, so they all were super excited for me, but nothing out of the norm, just more so like going out in public and people recognizing me. That's like crazy. It's just crazy.
What's it like being able to, I mean, you're having to train at an elite level at this point. You're you know, working 3 jobs and raising 2 kids. How is that like balancing all that?
It can be very overwhelming sometimes. And I think, you know, on social media does a good job of making everything look perfect and pristine. And I'm a human, like I'm a human. So it does get to be a lot, but I have luckily been put into an opportunity with this fight to be able to work jobs that work around my schedule and things that work with my children, and make the number one priority is them, making sure that they constantly get what they need and their attention and their time, and communicating with them. But I'm lucky because I'm in a position where I get to do all the things, work jobs, all that. But I would be lying if I said it was just all peaches and cream, because it's not. Yeah,
that's a lot to balance, you know. It's a lot in itself to be a mom and work one job, not to mention all these other things.
Yeah.
So what are you looking at next? What fight do you want next?
I'm going to be fighting in July, and I know who I'm fighting already. I can't tell who I'm fighting, but I know who I'm fighting. It's a really good matchup for me, and I think people are going to be excited about it. And I don't know. I think it's going to be in Texas. I don't know the date yet because I think Bare Knuckle has a couple shows right now going on that they've let me know when it was going to be and what was going to happen, but just all the other details I don't really know yet.
What I've been seeing the exclusive content stuff roll around, and you're in that game now. How is that? I mean, I'm sure you're catching all kind of bullshit over it, but I mean, honestly, in my opinion, I think it's great to be able to leverage that attention and do something with it.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
What do you mean? What am I talking about?
I don't know.
Like your website.
Oh, okay. I'm like, did something happen?
I went there. My bad. I went there.
No, it's okay. No, that's what it's for. It's awesome. It's such a great thing for me. With my website, like, one, I like to be super personable with fans anyway. So aside from like the sexy side of it, because I'm sure a lot of people are just like, it's just Taylor up there half naked. No, yeah. It's like, it gives me an opportunity. Like I said, I don't get to answer a lot of my fans just because the way they message me, and so many, I can't possibly filter them all out. So my website really gives me an opportunity to like personally message my fans and like answer them, because the majority of the time the people that are on there are just like, hey, how are you? I'm a huge fan. Yeah. But also I've got sexy stuff on there, so it doesn't hurt. And I've gotten a lot of really positive feedback, good. But I've had a couple people that aren't too happy about it, but you know, I pay my bills at the end of the day.
Well, I mean, I know that's been something that's been, you know, Paige Van Zandt was, you know, people ridiculed her over that for a while. And it's just, I mean, why not, you know?
Yeah.
It's a platform for you to be able to be yourself and, you know, communicate with people and make money. Why not, you know?
Exactly. I mean, being a female, it's cool to like have an outlet to be like sexy other than being just like rough and tough all the time. You make money. Like it's a good, like, I can probably say that anybody that can do it, like, there are people that don't want to do it by choice, but a lot of people are like, if I could do that, I would do it. So like, yeah. You know, it's just smart. It's just smart. There's no reason not to do it, honestly.
Hey, it's a good business mind. I don't hate on that at all, you know. What so what are some of your personal stuff that you do besides the kids and the, you know, and work and fighting? Is there anything like, what are your hobbies?
I don't really like even have any hobbies besides like work and training. Fighting is my hobby.
I get that.
I like to sit at home and watch the Golden Girls, like when I have a spare moment.
Who's your favorite character?
Oh, Blanche Devereaux.
Oh, gotta
That's
be.
Like, yeah. She's my spirit animal.
Yeah, that show's great.
My spirit animal.
Oh, man. So do you have any, I mean, I'm sure you're getting hit up a lot by people like saying, you know, inspiration, stuff like that. What's been your kind of game-changing, pivotal moment, you know, response for people when they reach out to you?
Just never giving up, really, which like sounds so cliche and so just standard, but it's true. Like, you just gotta, like, no matter what, that's the one thing is I've always seen where I was going and where I was heading, no matter how many people told me like, you can't do it, or how many times life kicked me in the balls and was like trying to keep me from doing, like, just everything. And it was like, I knew what I saw for myself, and I just had to push myself. And then secondly, like, surrounding yourself with people that believe in that for you and want to see you get there. Because the negative people, like, they can bring you down, but as long as you're focused and you have people that support you, like, you can do anything in the world that you want to.
Yeah, it's funny because we talk about this on the show a lot. Like, anytime I ask anyone some questions like that, it's like the cliche things are always the most, you know, real. Like, you hear this shit every day, and people throw that stuff around so loosely that it doesn't mean anything until it does.
Yeah.
And it's
exactly
so hard to explain that to people. I wanted to ask you this because I don't really know how I feel about it, but all these celebrity boxing matches they're putting together with these MMA fighters, shit. What's your opinion on that?
It was like the whole Jake Paul and Ben Askren thing. Like, okay, I said months ago, someone asked me, what's your opinion? I said, Jake Paul is going to beat him. One, because it's probably set up. And if it's not set up, Ben Askren is not a striker, and Jake Paul is in the gym every single day, only striking. So what's gonna happen? It's different disciplines, and like people thought I was crazy because I'm like, yeah, Jake Paul's gonna fucking kill him.
Yeah. Not to mention he's twice his size too.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, somebody who doesn't strike goes and stands in there with someone who's boxing every single fucking day in and day out. Like, it's gonna happen. I don't like the whole celebrity boxing thing with the Paul brothers, and like now they're trying to bring like YouTubers on board and stuff like that. Like, I'm glad for them that they're pursuing it. It's great, and I think that they definitely should secure their bag and do that because like they're enjoying it or whatever. But at the same time, I feel like there are so many other worthy people of getting that attention that they're getting. That's where it gets me. I'm like, well, there's people who've been fighting their whole life that don't even get.
Well, that's why you have that's why you have so many people getting frustrated, because it's like I bust my ass every day and day in, day out. I may be in the UFC in the top 10 and still not making, you know, $100,000 a year. And you have these people going on there and just leveraging attention and making millions of dollars in a, you know, bullshit boxing match. When I say bullshit, I mean, it's still a boxing match, but you know what I mean? Like, it's not.
Yeah, that's one of the things that really bothers me too is like, I can talk shit. Like, I have the personality that I have and I can talk shit, but I don't like that. Like, I don't like feeling like for me to get people to want to watch me, I have to be like, fuck you, or like all this stunt stuff. Like, I don't want to have to do all that. Like, I want people to watch me just because they want to watch me. But whatever, like it works for them. So, hey.
Yeah, it's been an interesting turn of events, and I haven't really got a chance. I don't think I haven't spoken to a fighter in probably a couple months on the show about it. And I was like, man, after this weekend, I wanted to talk about that too. Not to mention Frank Mir put a good fight on. You know, I mean, they went. Yeah. I'm glad he made it the whole time. You know what I mean? Against that.
Me too. I think he actually signed with Bare Knuckle, and like, I would love to fight on like a Frank Mir card.
Holy shit! Yeah, I've always loved that dude.
Yeah, he's awesome.
You're getting a lot of veterans in there. Have you met? Yeah. Have you gotten to meet like Lieben and people like that?
I did. I actually, Chris Lieben was on the card that I fought on.
Yeah, right.
I don't think he congratulated me and stuff, but I didn't really get to sit and personally talk to him. I met Quentin Henry when I was there. He was so nice to me. And yeah, Chris Lieben was cool. It was just cool, like, because I was really starstruck and I was trying like not to be. Because I'm like, I'm here fighting on the same card. I gotta like be professional.
Yeah.
So like when I saw Chris Lieben like in the same room as me, I was like looking at him like, oh my god, there's Chris Lieben. Oh, like.
That was another.
But he came up to me and he like congratulated me, and it was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, for him to, you definitely caught his attention that night. But that was a tough fight. Quentin hits really fucking hard, and for Lieben to take those shots and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, I was like. I was scared for that. I was like, I know that's gonna be a fucking crazy fight yeah.
Well, I mean, so what else is going on with you? What else do you have planned? I mean, besides the little things you have brewing as far as the fights, the content, anything else working on?
No, I think I'm gonna try to like go out to some of the bare knuckle fights soon, or maybe like hopefully travel or something and be there and show face. I'm trying to work on like doing this documentary, which I think will be really, really cool and super personal. I'm going really deep with it. So I hope that people enjoy that. It'll probably come out sometime after I fight. But other than that, like my life is just constantly on the go doing the same things all the time, really.
Well, I like that. Watching your stories and seeing your posts, I like that you're real. You know, you've been pretty real with everyone. You don't it's not all like glitz and glam.
No. I was just going to say, well, like the other night I drank like a 6-pack of Trulies and put on a Chewbacca onesie and like watched the Golden Girls.
Hell yeah.
I guess like that's exciting. But I have a problem where like I'll think something's like, I mean, it is I don't post anything bad, but like sometimes I'll post something and then like the next day I'm like, oh my God, did I really like put that on my story? I don't care though. Like, I'm just like, whatever. I think I'm fun. I do it mostly because like I make myself laugh. And if I make myself laugh, I'm like, everybody else has to see this. I bet they'll think it's so funny. And then like 90% of the time, nobody thinks it's funny.
Yeah, but I mean, there's something bad. I mean, because there's so many people, especially someone that has the attention that you have, or it's just putting on a show the whole time, you know. So you're not.
No, I can't. I just can't, because what you see is what you get.
So what? Who's your favorite fighter?
Oof, that's
Female.
a hard question.
Let's go female first.
Female fighter.
Let's go MMA.
MMA. Jung Wei Lee.
Okay. Male.
I mean, like, she's not my favorite, like, personally, but, like, right now, like, she's just a monster, so it's like, whoa. Yeah. If I have to say, like, personally, I've always loved Ashley Evans Smith, and I got to be on her podcast, which was, like, so amazing because I've always been such a huge fan of hers. Jillian Robinson, Hannah Goldie, like, all of those are women that I like, that stick out to me.
Yeah, Hannah Goldie's cool. She, I talked to her recently. Hopefully I get her on soon as well. What
She's
about
such a bad bitch. I'm always like I bought some supplements. Like, I didn't realize what a nerd I was. I was like, I bought some supplements because Hannah Goldie is taking those supplements, and she just looks good. And she messaged me. She's like, did they sponsor you? That's great. I'm like, no, I just bought them because you take them.
What about Mel?
Ooh, hold on. Jake Paul. Just kidding. Male. Like, you want, like, UFC, MMA.
I mean, MMA, whatever. UFC, Bellator.
I'm gonna say my coach, Keith the Rockstar Richardson. He's my favorite MMA fighter, but, like, someone, like, else. I'm trying to think. I always, like, draw blanks on this for some reasons if I don't watch, like, everybody. I always really liked Cody Garbrandt. And I like Sean O'Malley. Like, Sean O'Malley. Yeah, like, he's just who he is, and I love that about him.
Cody's back on the upswing. He took that loss, and then he's back with a vengeance, so he's doing good.
Yeah, and I was hoping that for him. But I saw something yesterday with his little boy, and his little boy's so cute. Yeah. I don't know why. I always draw blanks on that.
Oh, it's all good. So tell me about your coach. How long have you been with him?
I have been at Modern Warrior for, I want to say, since September.
Okay.
September. But I've known Keith for a really long time. Not a really long time, but like 2 years, I would say. When I was training over at Jimmo, where Impa and Hot Sauce and Brian Barberina and like all those guys were training. That's where I used to train. And Ricky Rainey was there. But Keith had come in to train. I met him there. And then I moved over to this side of town to Rock Hill, South Carolina, which is where his gym's at. And I had ran into him at the grocery store, and he was like, hey, why don't you come and spar? Give one of our girls some work. And I was kind of in like I don't even know what the word is. Like, I was just in the transition of trying to figure out where I wanted to train and like where I wanted to be and what I wanted to do anymore, because I was kind of like all over the place. And when I went in there and sparred, I just kind of was like a stray cat that got fed and kept coming back. And then before you know it, I was like, hey, Keith, I have a contract for Bare Knuckle. Would you want to be my coach? And he was like, absolutely.
Well, I love what it's involving, too, because I think it's a new game. There's going to be a lot more components, like people coming in left and right. And it seems like they're getting some good investors on board, and they're bringing in some people, some top-tier opponents. And I can't believe how much it's blowing up already.
I really think that people don't understand Bare Knuckle is such a great organization. Like, aside from like all the big like stuff coming in and like publicly and things like that, like when you fight for them, you become family. And like that's one of the things they say in the pre-fight meeting. Like you're in the pre-fight meeting, everyone's there, rules meeting, whatever. And David Feldman, like I had like tears in my eyes when he was like giving us our rules meeting, which is so stupid because like usually you're bored out of your mind, like trying to get out of there. Yeah. But David Feldman was like, if you come in here and you fight your fucking ass off, I don't care if you win, if you lose, it's a draw. But if you come in here with respect and you fight your ass off, you always have a home in Bare Knuckle, and we'll always make sure you're taken care of. And like, just was like so thankful that we were there to put on a show. Like, thank you for being here. It means a lot to us. And they're a great organization all around, and I think it's going to blow up like a lot more than people realize. Yeah, and you're you're right there at the beginning of it, you know, so it's like you're a pioneer for this. I guess you could call me that. Even like I'm like, holy shit. Like every day I'm like, holy shit. I'm excited though, because I just feel like I'm home and it's where like I need to be. Well, what are your aside from conditioning the knuckles, how do you go about doing that? I can't say the word for it, but it's a board, a Maukikawa something board, but it's like a little wooden board. I Keith just got one of those in the gym, and I've been punching that thing, and that thing works pretty good. It's just like a square wooden board. And then at first I was like hitting the bag without any wraps on or anything, just bare knuckle. And I've seen people hit their knuckles with hammers. Obviously you can't spar, like you can't spar bare knuckle. No. We did a lot of like movement stuff, like without anything on, but I just, as the camp progressed, I just went lighter gloves all the way down to like MMA gloves, and then conditioned my knuckles, like just basically beating the shit out of them as much as I could until they just felt ready to go, until it was time to ease off of them.
What's your what's the weight cut thing and the layout as far as weight class and stuff? How does that work with you?
There is, as far as I know, there's only a 125-pound division for females. There's never even like been a champion, from what I know. Let me say allegedly, because like I've seen belts given out, but I've been told that they were given out as like trophies. But there has never been like technically a woman's champion in bare knuckle.
Okay.
And there's only a 125 division. And I think there's maybe like 8 of us, maybe less.
Are you cutting any weight to make 125, or are you walking around at that weight?
No, I mean, like, I'm like 130 right now, but if I just I walk around at that. I went into the scale and got on it and didn't have to starve myself or anything. So it was really nice. I usually cut to 114, 115. So.
Well, it's interesting too, because I don't know. So what's the fight? I talked to Quentin about this a little bit, but this is, Quentin's early in the bare knuckle game too. But like, what's the fight count difference, from MMA to this? I mean, you're just hyper focusing on boxing every single day. I mean,
yeah, what's funny is I actually trained a lot of kickboxing and MMA just because like there's so many MMA and kickboxing classes at my gym that I was just wanting to get all the work all around. And like a lot of the classes, my coach would kind of say, like, whoever was working with me, hey, like only work boxing with her. But for the most part, I trained everything until it got closer and closer, and then I started focusing on boxing just because it was a good workout just to do MMA and lift people up and pick them down and wrestling and all that stuff. So but yeah, I usually primarily fight. It made me definitely like not enjoy doing anything else. Like now I'm like, oh, I don't want to do jiu-jitsu, I don't want to do wrestling, I don't want to kickbox. Like I'm always like, I just want to box.
Well, I mean, do you have any plans to approach it different on this upcoming fight in July?
I think the best thing I can say is like now that I've been in there and I know how the game goes, that like I've definitely got everything training wise. I don't want to say perfect because nobody's perfect, but I've gotten everything. Like I've taken in everything I need to know how to train perfectly for a bare knuckle fight and to do everything that I need to do for a bare knuckle fight. And I'm excited because now that I know what to expect, it's going to be different. I'm excited. Like, I'm just so excited now that I had that fight to be like, okay, this is what's happening and this is how it goes.
I mean, yeah, you got it.
I'm ready. Like, I can't wait. I keep saying, like, I can't wait to show the world the different animal that comes out in July because
I'm fucking scared. I don't even know what to think about what's going to happen. Well, I mean, so there's a lot of my listeners and viewers that have no fucking clue about fighting or anything, whether it be male or female on all spectrums across the states. Is there any kind of positive knowledge or negative shit that you want to talk about that you may deal with that people can relate to?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things that I've learned here recently is just like always being kind to everybody. Like it's so easy for us as humans to judge other people that we don't know just by looking at them or making an assumption off them, because there are definitely a lot of people that don't know me that like just hate me, that like would come on, like just that have like gotten somehow thrown in the mix of the thousands and thousands of followers that are like, I fucking hate this bitch. I'm like, I don't even know you. And like, I'm very sensitive. So it like hurts my feelings. So I'm like, one of the biggest things I can say is just always be kind. Like they say, like, you never know what anybody's going through. You never know what anybody's feeling that day. And just always be kind to everybody.
Well, that's a great point too. And that's why I like these platforms, because we can have a conversation, instead of just doing some kind of, cut and dry interview with bullshit questions for 5 minutes, and then that's their, they judge you off of that, and they have no fucking clue who you are, so like, let's get personal, let's talk about some real shit. Is there anything you've been through that you've overcame in the past few years that you may want to talk about?
Yeah, we can get personal. I've been
Hell yeah,
through a
let's do it.
divorce, like a divorce. That's
Okay.
been really, really tough, especially when you have kids and, that's really hard, like to be with somebody and you envision being with them forever for the rest of your life, and you have kids because you believe that you're going to be together forever for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And it just, it doesn't work out, and the past 2 years, my life got like upheaved and changed and moved, and it was my choice, like ultimately, but it was really hard nonetheless, like to have to go through that. It was like in my head, I thought, oh wow, like I'm gonna get a divorce and everything's just gonna be great, and it was a shitstorm for 2 years, and just now am I starting to finally feel like things are kind of okay with that, Yeah.
I mean, people build their life on something and they think it's going to work out, and it changes, and you have to roll with the punches.
Exactly. So that's something like super personal that's been really hard, and like I haven't been very public about it. Kind of was just more so like I just like didn't say anything and didn't let anybody know. People were like, "Wasn't your fight name Jenkins like a year ago?"
I wasn't going to bring that up, but I was trying to find your accounts and tag you on shit, and I was like, okay.
Who's Jenkins? Yeah.
I was like, that looks like her, but maybe that's one of those fake. How many fake profiles have you had lately?
Okay, like I'm not even mad about any of them except for the one that like leaked like pictures of me. That was not fun. That was the only one, but hey, that's like I remember someone made a fake account recently, and it was just like a stupid one. They were like asking people for money, like some random scam thing, and I'm like, okay, I can get that done. And then like someone posted my nudes. And I was like, the first one, I was like, you've made it when someone's made like a fake account of you. And then I was like, you've really made it when someone makes a fake account with your naked pictures on it. And it was just like a whole scandal, and it was awful. But I just made a joke of it at the end of the day.
I mean, it's interesting, and it's funny because these platforms are what we live and breathe on now at this point. I never would have thought that I'd be walking around with this and living off of it, and it's my main source of income. It's fucking insane, but we all operate off of them. But for some reason, it's so hard for some people to be fucking real.
Yeah.
Like, still be real. People, and especially now that we've been dealing with this shit for 10 years at this point, you can see fake and real. We all know what. And
it's so scary to me. Like, what scared me the most was like, I think the person that made it knew me personally in some way, shape, or form. So it was someone who knew me personally, but like how easy it was for them to just like make an account, make it fake, make it look like me, talk to people like as if they were me. Like, it was just like, whoa, like to think that I might have pissed someone off so bad that they wanted to make an account and like do that. And like my response literally was like, if I knew who it was personally and that I hurt their feelings that bad, like I would just give them a hug and like tell them I'm sorry.
Yeah,
and, like,
you wasn't even mad about it. You was like, okay.
Yeah, I was just like, I really feel bad about the fact that like I like upset someone this bad to where they wanted to make a fake account and like slander my name. Like I was like, oh fuck. Because I like really try to be the best person I can be. Yeah. But you piss people off. I mean,
you can't make everybody happy.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, look, it's been real today. I appreciate your time. I just wanted to, get a few minutes with you and let everybody get to know you a little bit. And like I said, there's all types of people. It's just not, we're not people. A lot of people probably have never seen. I hope they look your fight up and watch it now. Like who is this chick? You know what I mean? But there's a lot of people on here that do know it too. And it's funny because for some reason when I watched that fight the next day, I probably should have posted a picture of Quentin, but I posted a picture of y'all because I was like, holy fuck. Like it inspired. It was
intense. Like it was intense.
It inspired the fuck out of me. Like I was just like, damn, man, people need to know who this is, and what.
The best thing that like really like touched me the most is I had so many, not just one, not just two, like I had so many people reach out to me and like tell me they watched my fight and cried. They were like, I don't even know you, but I watched your fight and cried. And then there was like people that do know me that were like, I saw your fight and I cried my eyes out, like just knowing like all the adversity you've ever overcame and stuff like that. And then there were people who didn't know me that were like, I watched that fight and I cried because I could just feel the passion that you had in that fight, like just all out there on the line. So that was really cool. And so thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, I fanboyed my ass off. I was like, hey, do you know this chick? Holy shit, do y'all know this chick? Let me show you this shit. But yeah, I appreciate your time today. And any last words you want to plug? Anything?
Thank you all. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you everybody for all of your support. I love you all so much. If you have not subscribed to my website, it's taylorstarling.com. Very simple. Follow me on Instagram at taywstarling. But that's really it. Thank you. Thank you for your time, and thank you everybody for taking the time to listen to me talk.
Thank you. Everyone, please subscribe to the podcast.